So tonight I watched Lauren Greenfield's The Queen of Versailles, which I worked for a couple movie theaters in San Francisco a few years ago that were owned by the same guy who owns Magnolia Pictures. So all of their films play in these theaters. So we had The Queen of Versailles in not one, but two theaters that I worked at, because they were both owned by the same chain. And yet somehow I didn't see the movie. I don't know. The poster art sort of was off putting. And I guess I didn't believe any of the reviews. I don't know. Because it's actually like a really brilliant documentary, I think, and a really sort of interesting story. Moral of which is don't build an empire on borrowing. But most of us can't ever afford to borrow as much as they ended up losing, which is horrifying. And then their life is still sort of fine, and they can lend friends money, and their friends are still fucked, and it's just sort of bizarre. So it's about the David Siegel, who is created the world's largest timeshare company, and his wife Jackie, who the two of them were building this big house, and then the big, recession came in right after I graduated from college, and all the banks were falling and foreclosing, and I actually never really knew how timeshare worked until I watched this movie, and I was like, that sounds horrible. That's like, no wonder they make a ton of money, and I feel like the people are getting ripped off, and then some, but because the business is built on selling this thing that people can't really afford, when then they really can't afford it anymore. It's like, well, of course all the capital's gone. A house of cards, if you will. So, but what I thought was really interesting was that the Queen of Versailles, Jackie, is actually a very interesting woman, at least as depicted in this film. From the cover and from some of the blurbs, it makes it sound like she's this like ditzy, blonde trophy wife, but she's much more interesting than that. And she studied engineering because in her town there was like, you could be a secretary or you could be an engineer, and she was like, I'll be an engineer, which is sort of, even in the 80s, less common, like for women to choose a job that wasn't full of women, But then, like many a pencil pusher, cube living person, she realized that was hell, and became a model because she had those two skills, and one skill was going to be horrible, and one skill was going to pay her bills while she had fun. I'm like, that's a great decision. She also had this interesting thing where she said that, if she were poor, she would have had like one, maybe two kids, but because she could afford to have nannies, she had 8 kids, because then she didn't have to do it all. That's kind of fascinating, because it's like, is it just the extremely rich and the extremely poor who have 8 kids, or I don't know. It's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. If I remember the time, I think it was like the highest grossing documentary film. Like, it was breaking boundaries left and right, making all kinds of money. Sadly, one of the girls featured in it just died a few days ago, and it's sort of bittersweet, because when the movie starts, she's like 11 or 12, and then by the end of the movie, she's 14 and starting to like be a rebellious teenager, and realizing that some of the ways her father treats her mother is bullshit, and sort of coming into her own as a woman. And then, watching this movie 3 years late, now it's like, oh, that didn't end so well for everybody. Which is a bummer. And according to Wikipedia, they were building this house, Versailles, that was at the time going to be the largest single-family residence in the United States. Now, according to Wikipedia, it's the 4th largest, which means some other crazy rich people built other crazy rich houses with 17 bathrooms. No, the smaller house had 17 bathrooms. The bigger house probably had like 50 bathrooms. We had 1.5 baths growing up, and that was plenty. 2 toilets, 2 people could shower, you're good. Um, there's a kitten. Where is it? Oh, it was 90,000. What is it? Like some giant. What is it? 100. Wait, let me click on this. I don't want to say it wrong. Yeah, 90,000 square feet. Giant thing. And they owned the land. They were building this house, and then he decided to take a mortgage on it, even though they paid for it, in order to take the capital from the mortgage to invest it in the company. And then all the, shit hit the fan economically, or with the economy and everything, and the banks and the lending and all that. And so they lost all this money, and they were going to maybe lose the place. But they now have the place, and it's supposed to be finished next year. So I wonder if they'll probably because they sued Lauren Greenfield, they won't do a follow up with her, but maybe you can do like a Lifestyles of Rich and the Famous tour of the completed Versailles. I don't know. One thing, so if they have these kids, right, and they're like panicking about everything, and they didn't set up any money for the children at all. Like they have all this money. He's like a billionaire. And they're like selling off assets and shit. But the one thing that they didn't do, we're building this giant house. She would spend millions of dollars a year on clothes and shit. And they never once thought, maybe we have 8 kids. We should put some money that can't be touched for them for when they turn 21, which is like what rich people do. Or at least for their college or whatever. They hadn't planned any of that. Like, what kind of rich person doesn't plan for their kids' college? You don't have to plan for their adult life. That's fine, but most people, if they can, try to plan for their kids' college. My parents did, and they weren't rich. That just made me really angry. And then, somewhat spoiler alert, at one point when they have to fire all their domestic staff, ow, he just landed on my foot. Cat, she likes to rampage. They fired all their domestic staff except the nannies and 2 maids or something, and so everything's falling apart because their house is too big without a staff. And there's a dead lizard, and it's super sad because according to the one girl, no one would take her to the pet store to get food, but then it looks like maybe they also didn't give the thing water. And one of the kids is like, we had a lizard, and it's like, and there's another part where she buys one of them a bike, and then it pans into their garage, and there's a pile of bikes that no one's been touching forever. And then there's a side story about another guy who used to be a millionaire, and now he's in a rented place where he can't hang his picture of him with Bill Clinton, and it's whoa. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, I think this is a really good movie. I was I couldn't look away. I just sat through the whole thing and was I wanted to get water, but I was no, I'm in it. I couldn't pause it. So it's really fascinating. Hand hurts. It's from 2012, if I didn't say that already. It's directed by Lauren Greenfield, the Queen of Versailles. A very strange, interesting documentary. Definitely worth checking out. It's on Netflix. Definitely worth checking out.